Welcome back to Poorly Educated Today in the News, the show that's basically the evening news. If the evening news ran out of coffee, crashed its truck into a ditch, and woke up in a Bass Pro Shops, asking if the fishing lures take Apple Pay. Today's headlines come straight from America, the place where we say united, but we pronounce it like it's missing a couple vowels and the last bolt holding the roof together. We've got foreign policy that looks like it was sketched on a Waffle House napkin at 3 a.m., an AI executive order that basically tells the states, your laws are cute, but daddy's talking. A homicide that turned into a culture war lightning bolt, an economy doing its best impression of a roller coaster held together with duct tape, and winter storms so cold they'll freeze a politician's smile mid-lie. So let's roll into the mud pit, because that's where the truth likes to nap. Segment 1. War on Narco-Terrorism. Florida Man Goes Global. America has officially declared that the entire Caribbean is now Florida's backyard. And buddy, we're mowing the lawn with cruise missiles. The administration has been launching strikes on Venezuelan and Colombian trafficking boats, like they're whacking moles at a county fair booth. Except the moles are in the ocean and also exploding. We're talking 25 strikes since September, over 95 people dead, and a whole bunch of go-fast boats that suddenly weren't going fast anymore because the U.S. Air Force dropped a stop-resisting bomb on them. The wild part is the legal loophole. Traditionally, drug boats fall under Title 14, which is Coast Guard territory. That's the law enforcement stuff. Pull over the boat, arrest the dudes, collect the evidence, maybe get a good photo for Instagram. But the administration said, nah, this is Title 10 now, which is military law, which is how you get F-18 playing battleship with live targets. And let me tell you, nothing makes a redneck spit out his dip like hearing the president declare fentanyl a weapon of mass destruction. Buddy, we're one press conference away from calling weed a cruise missile. Congress is furious because Congress didn't authorize any of this. But the president basically said, who needs permission? I already logged into the war machine, and you ain't got the password. And suddenly, Pete Hegseth and Marco Rubio are up on Capitol Hill giving classified briefings while lawmakers stare at them like teachers who just caught two kids joyriding the school bus. Strategically, the administration clearly hopes this pressures Venezuela's Maduro until he's one bad night's sleep away from fleeing the country wearing sunglasses, a fake mustache, and a "Don't Talk to Me, I'm Belgian" t-shirt. The rest of Latin America is yelling war crimes, and the U.S. is yelling service not available in your region. Segment 2. Berlin talks, peace but make it awkward. Meanwhile, in Europe, the U.S. decided to send the diplomatic equivalent of the world's weirdest wedding party, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. Nothing screams, bring peace to Europe, like a guy known for real estate deals and a guy whose official title might as well be the president's son-in-law who has opinions. But shockingly, the talks are going somewhere. They're 90% done, depending on whether you're counting 20 or 28 peace points, because even the negotiators can't agree on how many tabs they left open on the treaty. The plan includes this Article 5 light thing, meaning Ukraine gets a European security force that's basically NATO with training wheels. The big hang-up is territory. Zelensky says non-negotiable. Trump says, they already lost it, to be honest. Europe is trying to be polite, but they all look like teachers watching two sixth graders fight over a Chromebook. Russia's playing its usual game. Negotiate by day, launch 153 drones by night. It's like they're saying, we want peace, but we also want your power grid to cry. Every redneck watching this at home is like, dang, even in international diplomacy, folks can't resist throwing hands at midnight. Segment 3. The AI Executive Order. Washington says, "Move states, I'm driving." Now let's talk artificial intelligence, which is basically a calculator with opinions. And the president just told every state government, "Your laws are adorable but irrelevant," like he's patting a chihuahua on the head. The AI executive order says the White House is writing federal laws that overwrite state laws. California passed safety standards. Colorado passed ethics rules. Washington says, "That's cute. Anyway, delete that." And they're backing it up with a DOJ AI litigation task force, which sounds like RoboCop's lawyer. Then they pull the classic power of the purse move. States want broadband money. Well, they need to stop passing AI laws, because apparently nothing gets America more excited than federally subsidized Wi-Fi. Conservatives are internally punching each other over this. Old school states' rights, Republicans are yelling, "This is tyranny." Meanwhile, the America First tech bros are yelling, "This is synergy." Some states get exemptions, though, like child safety rules and infrastructure permitting, which is basically Washington saying, "Look, we're not monsters. You can still regulate bulldozers and toddlers." This whole thing feels like the federal government updating the terms of service and clicking "Agree for everyone." Segment 4. The Reiner Homicide, a tragedy turned into a culture war grenade. Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle Singer Reiner, were tragically killed in their home, and their son has been charged. It's an awful situation, rooted in family tragedy, addiction, and mental health struggles. There's no joke in that, no punchline, and no reason to try to make one. But the national reaction became a political wildfire the moment the president commented. Instead of offering condolences, he declared that Rob Reiner died because of Trump derangement syndrome, calling it a mind-crippling disease. This took a tragedy and turned it into a political weapon overnight. Democrats called it vile. Some Republicans said it crossed the line. But plenty of MAGA influencers cheered it on, using Reiner's past criticism as justification. What we're seeing is how tragedy doesn't stay private anymore. It becomes a battlefield, a talking point, a way to score hits on social media. A family lost 2 people, and the nation lost its ability to pause, breathe, and mourn without turning it into content. America's culture war has gotten so hot you can cook bacon on it, and everyone's too busy yelling to notice the smell of something burning. Segment 5. The Economy, a roller coaster held together with gum and prayers. Let's lighten the mood by talking about something far less depressing: the U.S. economy. Oh wait, never mind. The October jobs report finally dropped after being delayed so long it needed its own birthday cake. And it revealed the government cut 162,000 federal jobs, because apparently the administration is trying to speedrun the small government thing, like it's a Red Dead Redemption side quest. November bounced back with 64,000 jobs, but only if you count sectors like healthcare and education. Everywhere else? Picture a tumbleweed rolling across a dusty town called private sector. Unemployment's at a 4-year high. Inflation's hanging around like a raccoon at your campsite. And the multiple job holder rate hit a 25-year high, meaning half the country has at least 2 jobs and still can't afford the good paper towels. Ford just took a $19.5 billion bath restructuring its EV program, proving that electric cars are great until the government stops handing out candy for buying one. Kraft Heinz is splitting in 2 like a divorced couple dividing up the condiments. Red Hat bought an AI safety company, which means even computers need babysitters now. And Weight Watchers reinvented itself as weight injectors, which honestly feels like destiny. The penny is dead too. The final set sold for $16.76 million, meaning it's the only penny that ever made money. Segment 6. Judicial Oddities, SCOTUS Speedrun, and a Gerrymander Fiesta. SCOTUS decided to take on Pitchford vs. Kane, a death penalty case involving alleged jury discrimination by the Mississippi DA famous for the Curtis Flowers mess. This is the judicial version of, "Hey buddy, didn't we warn you about this already?" Meanwhile, the Supreme Court refused to hear the marijuana case, meaning weed remains federally illegal while being legal in half the country. It's Schrodinger's drug, illegal and legal at the same time, until inspected by a cop. And gerrymandering fights are erupting everywhere. California's accused of carving districts like a Thanksgiving turkey, and Wisconsin Democrats are trying to redraw the entire state out of spite. Also, it's the 25th anniversary of Bush versus Gore, the case that basically said, "This isn't precedent, but we're doing it anyway," which is the most American legal sentence ever written. Segment 7. Science and Weather, Genetics Breakthroughs, and Arctic Whoop-Ass. Finally, some science you can brag about at dinner, even though you don't understand it. Mount Sinai developed an AI tool that predicts exactly how genetic mutations behave, meaning your doctor can now tell you which diseases are planning a surprise party. NYU built a better mouse model for Hirschsprung disease, and Nektar's alopecia drug almost worked, which is pharmaceutical for, "We'll try again next quarter." Also, gum disease may cause heart disease, meaning brushing your teeth is now patriotism. Weather? Oh, buddy. The Pacific Northwest is getting hammered with blizzards. Alaska's getting snow that reaches the roof of your truck, and the South is about to get cold enough that your pipes file a restraining order against you. Meanwhile, snow geese in Pennsylvania are dying from avian flu, which is not great news for poultry or for anyone who ever looked at a bird and said, "Oh, how cute." America, where even the weather says, "Hold my beer, watch this." In conclusion, today's news proves once again that this country runs on caffeine, confusion, and a complete disregard for the warning label. We got wars with new names, peace deals with old problems, AI laws written like a drunk uncle fixing your Wi-Fi, tragedies twisted into talking points, an economy trying its best, but still wheezing like a leaf blower that sat outside all winter, and weather cold enough to freeze your hopes and dreams into little decorative icicles. But here on Poorly Educated, we make sense of it by admitting we barely understand half of it, which honestly puts us ahead of Congress. Tune in next time, if the AI doesn't replace us first.